Hello, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Star, and I'm here to assist you with remembering who you were before the world told you who you ought to be. If you resonate with feeling like you had to grow up too quickly, or like you're older now and you still don't have your life together, this message could be for you. If it doesn't resonate, feel free to click away, go outside, touch some grass. I don't know what this message is going to be about. I pulled a couple different cards from a few decks last night, before and after I got out of the shower. I'm trying new things, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do these readings. Usually, sometimes I'll like gather the cards and I'll write something and then use that as like a script. I like doing that because I like writing about the things, but I also just like kind of flowing and talking. So feel free to play this while you're doing dishes or whatever, just random house chores. You can also feel free to get a notebook and take some notes. I always find that to be helpful sometimes too in assisting with getting the readings to be more personalized. With all of that said, I'm just going to start pulling these cards and seeing what comes up. So first we have the moon. Taking time for deep self-reflection is essential. So yeah, especially we just talked about notebooks, getting a notebook, writing things down, getting to know yourself more intimately. Socrates said on his deathbed, basically, the unexamined life is not worth living. It's like, if we're not examining the events or our feelings toward these events, then are we really actually living, or are we just kind of floating by? Are we actually taking accountability for the choices that we're making, or are we just blindly making choices and then looking back feeling regretful because we're not keeping track of all this stuff? I don't know. I personally have always written in a journal. It's just something I've always done, so I always encourage other people to do it as well, because when you look back, you can see how far you've come. You can see, like, in your writing how much you've changed or how much you've grown. So this message could be for someone who may be struggling with seeing their own growth and seeing how far they actually have come, right? Because when we go through life and we get up into our 30s and 40, I just reached 31, when we move up in these, we've been at this for a long time, right? It's hard to see our progression from the inside unless we examine it somehow through writing, or through even video reflections can assist. If you just sit in front of a camera and just start speaking out loud, it could also help you process the stuff that's going on within you, help you process your experience. Ooh, we have the Birth of Life card with this beautiful red maroon root chakra. And this is also, I also see this as kind of a heart chakra opening. I don't know why I'm like stuffy nose today. Having trouble breathing. Breathe in that good ass prana. Oh, we also have the Two of Pentacles, which to me is like you're juggling something. Ooh, and she's writing on the roof. So taking a higher perspective, perching. I'm seeing the tops of this tree as well. So zooming out for a little bit. If you're writing stuff down, zoom out and write about what you think your life is going to look like based on the things that you're doing right now. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that myself when I leave here. It's like, write out this outcome, this goal. Ooh, goal setting. I have a workbook, a goal setting workbook, how to turn your lead into goals. It is free on my Ko-Fi if you would like to do a little goal setting and need a little assistance with that. Change. Falling leaves do not signify the end, but the beginning of a fruitful season. Okay, so with this Two of Pentacles here, too, I always think of this card as the 2 cents, right? This is my 2 cents. And, you know, 2 cents is change. So it's like, what? Oh, I'm hearing, what seeds are you planting? And there's a changing of the seasons. So there's a changing of the seeds that you need to be planting, and journaling about it could help you get there. So it's like journaling, reflecting. I keep coming back to this journaling because it was the first card that we pulled, and she's writing in her journal here. But in this journaling practice, it's like write about the things you've experienced, the things you're currently experiencing, and the things you want to experience, right? As if you were doing a tarot reading for yourself. So you have the past, the present, and the future, but do it as journaling prompts instead. And you can pull, if you're also a tarot reader, you can pull a card for each of these things as well and reflect on that through journaling. And then you'll see where you need to change, or maybe the patterns that you've been experiencing over and over and over again, these infinite loops of uncertainty. Right, there's a lot of water. There's a lot of water in all of these images as well. So there's this deep emotional landscape that you've been trying to explore. And I'm going to keep going back to journaling because I really feel like that's helpful for that. Improve your skill. So yeah, journaling, like anything, is a skill that we gather, we gain, right, through practice. You know, it was funny, when I first started journaling, when I was like 16, 17, I would get the notebook and I would write. I had several pages of notebook that just say, I love writing, I wish I would do it more. And literally I would write that page and then I wouldn't write in it for a really long time. Or I would set a goal and I'd be like, I want to write in here every day. And then I would skip some days and come back to it and be like, wow, I haven't been writing in here every day. So like it's a skill and it takes time. And you're going to have those moments where you're like, I really wish I could do this every day. And you're going to keep thinking that until you actually are doing it every day. And then there comes a point where you're like, wow, this is just a part of who I am now, right? It becomes a part of that landscape. Oh, beautiful. This is gorgeous. I love that. And this inner knowing. This is it, when we write about ourselves, when we discover who we are, when we allow ourselves to change, we get closer and closer to who we actually are, how we want to be perceived in the world. Excuse me. We do that first through narrating our own life, through... This is almost looking like a download, and I put it underneath this... Wow. Big changes. It's almost as if this energy, you're like gaining illumination from the moon here, this full moon. Something is being illuminated and balanced within you, and is opening and activating your heart and your third eye. And the last card here was this big explosion, this big expansion, this big change that's occurring within you. In your root chakra, I'm seeing all this red. There's this expansion where you're starting to feel stable and grounded, right? Through doing these reflections, through taking these higher perspectives, there's a grounding that's happening because you're actively choosing with your newfound awareness what things you want to bring into your life, and it's making you feel more fulfilled. It's like you're putting the pieces, if your vision before was all pixelated, it's like you're gaining this clarity, and it's like these pieces are fitting together like a puzzle, and you're able to see the image more clearly about this life that you are creating. I love this. And it's this internal balancing. It's almost like you're starting to listen to your body more. You're starting to listen to your needs. You're starting to nourish yourself and give yourself the attention. You're working on the skill of self-love. You're mastering this skill of loving yourself, of putting yourself first, of taking time to listen to what your soul is asking from you. And you're using this, whatever you're gaining, to create this sense of change. But it's like you're changing, you're not necessarily changing into someone else. It's like you're taking off the mask, you're taking off the costume of someone you were not and allowing your real heart to shine through. That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. And sometimes, in order to do that, the change that needs to take place isn't necessarily a change of heart, or it could also be a changing of your appearance, right? Doing something to make yourself feel more like yourself. And the example of this today, I needed to veil myself. I needed to cover myself, so I put this wig on. Right? This isn't my real hair, but it helped me to feel more like myself today. So the message that's coming through with that is it doesn't need to be a big change. Right? It could be a small change, something simple like putting eyeliner on, or wearing a hat for the day, right? Something like that. Or changing the color that if you usually wear black, but instead today you try to wear something bright, right? Just a small change, a small tweak can lead to big experiences, big outcomes. One small tiny change can affect the whole system, right? If he drops one of these, then the whole thing kind of falls apart. But that's not to say that you changing is going to make things fall apart. It's going to make it fall together. It's going to make it fall into place. Oh, the puzzle piece. This is beautiful. I love this. Whoever this message is for, you are awakening your inner self, your inner passion. Wait, I wanted to get one more of these cards. What am I doing? I want to pull from here. Make sure I didn't leave any behind. Thank you. This one jumped right out. Kindness. Take respite by a pond and be kind to yourself and others. So yeah, be kind to yourself through this transition. Golden opportunity. Yeah, there's a transformation happening. You're like moving from the frog to the prince, or to the princess. Embracing the joy. Have fun with this change and transformation. It's almost like cosplay. I'm picking up cosplay. I just put this deck in the wrong box. Come out of the box. Quit putting yourself in the wrong boxes. I love you so much. If this resonated for you, you can hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you being here. I love you so much. I hope that you have fun discovering who you are again. Do things that light you up and bring you joy and make you feel like you're taking up space. I love you so much. I wish you so much love and courage on your journey. Remember to balance your shadow and light. Clear your sinuses. It must be pollen season. Take care. I love you so much.